Hello, Blizzard fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Tang and MaesioW on Cactus Valley, the latter edition. Now, this is a game 2 from the replay pack that Tang posted on May 7th or 8th. I can't quite remember, but it was sometime last week. And I think this is going to be the last one I will cast. And while this game is getting started, I kind of put a plug-in for Tang. He is part of the All-In Academy, which is a dedicated group of SC2 coaches who are committed to providing a cost-efficient coaching experience. You can find out more about this. It's basically coaching for people who want to improve at Starcraft 2, and if you're watching this, you probably want to improve your game. I don't think most of the people here are at the grandmaster level, as Tang is, and I think pretty much people can experience a lot from him. So go to tangstarcraft.com to check him out if you're interested in getting better. I think that's something he would be interested in doing for you. So in the bottom left, we have the red Zerg player, Tang. And at the top left, we have the opponent, the villain, the blue Protoss player, MaesioW. Now, we'll have to see what these players are up to. Again, if we know anything about Tang, we know he is super aggressive. He wants to get out there and push his units down the Protoss player's throat and kill them as soon as humanly possible. He doesn't want to sit back and be passive. As the game seems to be kind of designed towards Zerg players being passive, he actually wants to flip that on its head, flip the meta on its head, and get up in there and win on the offensive. So he is pretty much making drones at this point. A forward pylon coming down from MaesioW. He wants to wall this off. He wants to take a Nexus. We'll see if he goes Forge first or possibly Gateway first, whatever he wants to do. Tang, I'm going to assume, is going to go ahead and do his 14 pool, as he does not like going 15 hatch, especially not in the Protoss matchup. He wants to get those Zerglings out early for map control, to do some harassment, to force the opponent to feel uncomfortable. I would have to say he feels like sitting back and just droning all day lets Protoss players perfect their builds, get their timings down, which is really what Protoss at this level is all about, is getting your timings on your builds exactly where you need them to be, and then Protoss is super powerful. But Tang believes if you get Zerglings up on into their base and you do a lot of attacking, the Protoss player is on their back heels, they don't know quite what to do, it messes up their timing on their gas, on their build orders, and in the end it can hurt them and make them a less powerful and less of a pain to deal with later on. So we'll have to see what Tang is up to. Yep, there goes the spawning pool, and we're going to get some gas here, I assume, unless we just go spawning pool hatch. Yeah, spawning pool hatch. Okay, usually he gets gas at this point, but instead Tang going for a bit more of a macro build, less aggressive 14 pool 15 hatch, which again is pretty much good in all matchups, especially against Protoss. The scouting probe coming on out says, alright, Tang is not here, just to make sure he's not doing some one base crazy stuff. We're going to pop on in. And no, this is a bit of a pro tip that you'll see a lot in higher level games. Notice the probe didn't come all the way into the main to check that the base was there, just came in just far enough to see the creep was not there and headed on out. The time that this probe spends to scout the entire map can be shortened if you do this instead of going all the way in and then all the way back out again. It's only a couple seconds, but that can be enough between winning and losing at this level of grandmaster play. So the probe coming on in is going to scout, unfortunately, the last place that Tang is. Zerglings running on out, taking separate paths, looking for probes, looking for things that they can kill, taking the Selnaga Watchtower temporarily. And here comes the scouting Ling coming right on up. The wall is complete. That cannon is just about finished. I don't like the cannon placement just because roaches can actually hit this from the outside. If you put your cannon a little bit farther back, it can hit the roaches, but the roaches cannot kill it. I don't think this Ling can kill that cannon before it finishes. No, it cannot. The probe coming around says, oh man, I went all the way to the top right, to the bottom right, and now I'm coming to the bottom left. And finally, I know where the Zerg player is. This Ling comes in, does some harassment, does force a lot of probes off the line, and that was just enough to break MaesioW's concentration. You'll notice he does get the cyber core down, though. I mean, it didn't mess him up too much because, again, he is a grandmaster level player, but that is the kind of thing that Tang likes to do throughout the game to keep the Protoss from being the machine that they really can be. Zergling over here, for some reason, just kind of twitching his tail, looking super cute with his giant horns of claws on his head. Oh, look at that, kind of scratching behind his own ears. Adorable. And meanwhile, back at home, Tang is making drones. He's making queens. And he does have a single gas now. He's got 3 workers on that. Inject. There you go. Good injections there by Tang. That is something. If you're a low-level Zerg player, get your injects down. Figure out a method that works for you. Do some Googling on inject methods for Zerg in Starcraft 2. You'll find a whole bunch of different ones. Find one that works, that makes sense for you, and your macro will improve so much. And in the lower levels, like bronze, silver, gold, platinum, it's pretty much all about macro. You can make whatever units you want a lot of the time. And if you have more than your player earlier than your opponent player, you will win a lot of games as the Roach Warren heads on down. Inject, Queen. Get it. There you go. Good inject. Fantastic play here by Tang. So fun to watch. +1 attack, I assume, being researched on that forge. Yes, it is. And the Protoss player being pretty passive. I mean, at the 6-minute mark, he hasn't really attacked at all. Usually you actually like to see something here on the 6, 7, 8-minute mark. We'll have to see what attacks come on in, because if we take a look, it is 42 to 39 harvesters. The Zerg player is up, and that is with Chrono Boost coming down on these workers by MaesioW, or MaesioW. I'm going to say MaesioW from now on. That sounds more fun. MaesioW, creep spread heading right on up. The Zealot is here for that attack. I missed him somehow, but these Queens are enough to chase him away. The Stalker here might actually get this Overlord. Overlord trying to escape with his life. He doesn't want to be exploded this early in the game. That can actually supply block a Zerg player. Not quite here, but no. There's nothing that can save this guy. He is going to explode. Oh my gosh, a last second transfuse. Oh, Tang saves the Overlord. I need to stop casting and calling stuff before it happens. Amazing last second transfuse. Keeps the Overlord alive. Keeps the timings for the Zerg player alive. Fantastic pickup as we see a Robo Facility going down. Alright, so we might see Immortals, we might see Colossus, we might see Observers. Just depends on what the Protoss player wants to do. He is on 2 base. I don't think he's interested on taking a 3rd quite yet. It's a little bit early for that yet. Creep Tumor might get sniped down. It does get sniped down. That is so annoying. When it does get killed, you can't make another one. This one is still dead. It doesn't spawn another creep tumor, and so you'd actually have to replant it at the edge of your creep. It takes energy off these queens, but Tang has an extra queen. He doesn't need the extra one for injecting, and so he is able to inject. Oh, look at that timing. Beautiful. So he does have a queen pretty much dedicated to creep tumors. A creep queen, as it is called sometimes. Actually, 3rd base now coming up for a Protoss player, MaesioW. It is actually a little bit closer to the Zerg base. I don't know if that was a great choice. Might want to take this base instead, but instead he does put it a little bit closer to the Zerg. Here come the Roaches moving on up. Wow, this is a lot of Roaches. Well, how many Roaches is it? 24 Roaches on the way at the 9-minute mark. Oh my goodness. They're going to snipe down this base very, very easily. Pylon dies, forces a cancel on that Nexus, and here they come right up front. You're going to see this this cannon go down. Yes, you'll notice it is too close. The Roaches were able to kill it. Snipes coming on down, Observer coming out, can't do much, but watch as the Roaches go to town on this forge. They get right on up in there. Photon Overcharge comes down, but I don't think it matters. The Roaches do not care about that Overcharge, getting right on in, sniping every single one of those Stalkers if they can, trying to take down that Robo Facility before the Immortal comes out, and yes, good micro there by Tang, recognizing the danger of that Immortal, coming on in, sniping down that Sentry first of all. Is it he managed to get it? Yes, he does manage to get it eventually. All of these Stalkers are on their back feet. More Stalkers getting warped in, but this is so many Roaches with the speed doing so much damage. More and more streaming in here now. Warping in Stalkers, but I don't think it's enough. This is a lot of Roaches. Is that Photon Overcharge done yet? No, man, that lasts forever. Another Stalker going down. Getting sniped down immediately. Overseer here as well. So, I mean, even Dark Templar aren't enough to save the Protoss player at this point. The Stalker's trying to snipe down that Overseer, but he does get microed away there by Tang. Good micro. The Roach is coming in, killing so many workers. It is down to 31 mining workers for the Protoss player. Finally, the Photon Overcharge ends. Mothership Core up above can't do enough damage to these Roaches to really take them out. More reinforcements coming on in. This is a 2-base attack that is very, very strong for Tang. Well played. Oh, man, more and more coming in here. It is now 24 Roaches to 7 Stalkers. Not a good position for the Zerg player, or the Protoss player to be in, rather. There they come. They snipe down the natural. Bam, that dies. Sniping down more and more workers, trying to hide in that corner. Not too interested in going up the ramp yet. That's not something the Roaches want to do, but they are going to get here, get a bit of a concave on all of these Stalkers. They are dying, but I mean, having lost that natural is just huge for our MaesioW player. The Roach is coming right on in. Good Blink, though. Blink actually has finished for MaesioW, getting the wounded ones to the back, but it seems like all of the Stalkers are wounded now. A single hit from a Roach will take out so many of them. A retreat Blink by MaesioW. The Roach is coming on in, trying to kill the workers. All right, he says, if the Stalkers, if you're going to run away, we're going to kill more and more workers, which is just so devastating to the economy of MaesioW. 42 to 18 now. The 3rd base is fully established for Tang. All the Roaches do get cleaned up, though. I mean, I have to assume the production tab, yeah, we have 10 Hydras and 7 Roaches on the way. That might be the death knell for MaesioW. I was going to say death blow, and then death knell I felt sounded better. Either way, Tang just showing expertly how to put that pressure on, how to show up when the Protoss player is not ready for you. And we'll have to see. Yeah, here come the roaches. Here come the hydralisks. The creep is not quite spread all the way there yet. I think he could have been spreading the creep a little bit better during that attack. But yeah, I mean, MaesioW says, I need to win now. There's no way I can rebuild this Nexus and survive long enough to win this game. So here he comes with the Blink Stalkers, relying on his micro. He's going to try to do what he can, trying to snipe things down. Coming in here, I don't know if that is a great decision, though. Yeah, roaches and hydras, transfuse going down on that hydralisk. And yeah, the stalkers say, this is not the place for me. Time warp going down, but... Yep, good blink micro, but in the end, the hydras and the roaches, there are just too many here. This entire stalker ball is going to get cleaned up. They are faster. They'll be able to retreat, but no, MaesioW calls the GG, and Tang is victorious. So, fantastic action-filled game there. A little bit one-sided, but, you know, Tang is playing grandmaster level, so these are good opponents he is playing. Just shows the skill that he has as a Zerg player. He is one of my favorite Zerg players at this point. I just really enjoy watching him play. And, as always, this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another Daily Blizzard upload. If you liked what you saw and heard today, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. You can also catch me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch @/Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.